Triple J.
Hello.
Hang on, keep talking.
Mental. I had a couple of cheeky dogs licking at my spatula.
You see what I'm talking about?
Hang on a second.
Very careful what you say now.
Ross Noble and Terri Psiakis.
We'd be in trouble.
Would we?
This takes the cake.
I want you to look at my bum. I mean, you know what we could do? What are you doing?
Like, wasn't that bad?
I've digressed with silly. What else is
She
there?
could turn you over.
That's what you'd find.
Brace yourself. It's Ross Noble and Terri Psiakis on Triple J.
International man of comedy, Ross Noble,
Hi there.
with my good self, Terri Psiakis, joining you for another day of The Experiment.
The Experiment. We're on for 2 weeks, and how long have we got? Hang on, you know what happened?
Why are you not coming in?
That's a bit weird, isn't it?
There we go.
No, leave it like that. Pretend there.
No.
Is that better?
Oh, someone
Welcome
switched the
to
microphones
world
around
of
on the desk.
professionalism. Oh, they have, haven't
Well,
they? That's number
yes.
2 in
See?
cheeky business.
We do have to say that if you've been listening to the wonderful Amy Blackmer, who
God
got
bless
called in because poor Zan is ill, and Amy came and saved the day this morning. Amy, who usually is in here every morning anyway, because she guides us, really.
She does.
And helps us out with this show. So she's pulling a double shift. We've got the delightful Caroline Tran helping us on the phones for the time being, giving us the thumbs up. Amy's had
More of a victory sign, that.
a tough morning. They've changed the CD players on us here in this studio.
Have they?
The microphones have changed around. That is a brand spanking new CD player that I am still trying to figure out. It only took me 3 years to figure out how to use the last
And
one.
they've
Now
done-
they've gone and changed it.
And how does it differ?
Well, it's a little bit more la-di-da, so there's a few more fancy buttons. Amy Blackmer did magnificently this morning, coping with it with little or no training.
I did
and,
have I had
it's
a
all
little
a bit
cheeky,
different in here.
I was having a little cheeky listen to her. I was quite surprised because I didn't know. And then I turned it on. I heard a voice on the radio as I was in the car. And I went, hang on a second. Amy's on the radio. And then I kind of I thought, I've slept in. And she's had to fill in. And it was all a bit... In fact, you know how yesterday I was on about how I'd listened... What the hell was that?
That was my chair.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, that's
I just
you
said,
too.
I just said... Are we in the right studio?
I'm not
Are we
sure.
broadcasting on the Fox network?
It all feels a bit strange. Wolf FM. Yeah, it all
Sorry,
just
Wolf
it
FM.
feels just a little bit weird.
I was listening to them again this morning because I couldn't quite believe... You know that outside broadcast I was telling you about yesterday where you just...
At a leisure centre.
They surpassed themselves this morning.
What did
I should
they
be very
do?
careful slagging people off like this.
Go for
Yeah,
it.
they're not going to be listening, are they? There was, from the tennis today, an outside broadcast from the tennis.
But a proper outside broadcast or someone on a mobile at the tennis going...
literally
I'm at the tennis.
a bloke sitting there going, we're at the tennis, here's a record. I don't know, I've got no proof you're at the tennis.
Yeah.
You know.
Where's the...
Exactly.
Like, we want to hear a bit of... You know, that
they
was my
said-
impression of tennis, everyone.
Yeah.
Ooh. Ah.
That sounds wrong. Anyone tuning in now just hears thuck, thuck. Ooh.
Oh, dear.
Yeah, so it just
Lazy, isn't it?
Nothing. Just like, you know, occasionally somebody would go, he'd go, who are you? And he'd go, George, Stephen, Brian, Steve. Way.
He could have been out in his backyard with
Exactly.
a bunch of mates.
Why pay all that money to get into the, you know, to have a big OB thing? So I thought, throughout the course of today's show, I'm going to pretend that we're broadcasting from Ferries. Like when you started the show there and you went from France and you were talking about the band.
Yeah.
Obviously you were talking about from France and
Yes,
then you followed
Vitalik.
it up. You could quite easily have just gone, from France, is Ross and Terry here. You know? No,
Well, maybe we should get people to help us sound like we're broadcasting from somewhere.
Oh,
like, for
nah.
example, let's
Yeah.
top Wolf FM's effort at the tennis.
That's
Let's
a
get
good-
someone who is actually at the tennis, because, you know, Wolf FM, probably not at the tennis.
No, probably not.
If you're at the tennis, 1300 0555 36, you might be watching a match and listening to us.
Or
What a waste of
alternatively,
money, but...
we could just try and find people in the building. Let's do that. Let's just find people who are walking past, right? And then we'll just drag them in here, and then they can just make some sort of... We'll just pretend that, you know...
Ask them what sort of impression they do and then see if we can allocate that to a location and say
Yeah.
this is where we're broadcasting from.
Yeah, but we won't... what we'll do is we won't tell you when we've brought somebody in. We'll come back after a record, and we'll go, hi, we're live from wherever, and then we'll introduce who it was that helped us pull
Or
off the
maybe
rules.
when that guy comes in, Amy was telling us off air that because there's new equipment in the studio, there's one of the technical staff who is floating in and out of the studio to check on how things are going and give things a bit of a tweak. The equipment, namely. Maybe if he does an impression
God.
of somewhere,
That'd be great if he came in,
we'll get him
tweaked
to
us.
do it. That's the condition. He's only allowed to look at the new equipment
If he helps us
he helps us create the
pretend that
illusion.
we're somewhere else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I reckon he'd be up for it.
I met a man with a dodgy spine last night.
Did you?
Yeah. You know how yesterday we were... Sorry, did that come a bit out of left field
That's
there?
not at all.
What the hell?
What is it? How many days left to go? That shouldn't have taken me by surprise at all.
Can I tell people that just a minute ago, before we came on air, you have to go to a woman on the television. It was perfectly timed. Terry, minutes before, in fact seconds before we were on air, I was commenting on a lady who was quite a long way away from the interviewer. We were just chatting about what was on the TV.
Yes, on
then.
ABC TV.
And what was it you said? That lipstick and that hair really shouldn't go together. It was. To be honest with you,
Look, it was an observation.
it was an observation. It sounds, the way I said it there, it sounded like you were bitching. You weren't.
I'm just making an
You
observation.
were passing comment on
that
the fact
lipstick doesn't go with that hair.
Now, put it this way, if you saw her in the street, the last thing you'd be doing is going, "Morning, Vicar." Do you know what I mean? You'd go, "Oh, late afternoon, Reverend." That's what you'd do if you saw her. Look at that fella there with the jug ears. We should have him in. He could do
We
something.
should explain we have a large, lovely
yeah.
large window in the studio that enables us to look at, casual, to look at the people walking past the studio. And they don't really pay much attention to us, but of course it's very exciting for us when someone walks past the studio. So we like to pass comment on what we
Casual
see.
and slightly camp, that
Yes,
fella.
he minced past the window then, didn't he?
Ponytail and 2 hands on the hips.
So essentially it enables us to take the piss out of people as they walk past. They can they don't bother to look at us and they can't hear us. So really, it's a perfect
It's a
situation.
win-win situation, isn't it? Yeah, it's perfect. It's like being a sort of a peeping Tom without any of the fear of being caught.
Yeah. You can
Is that
say
what-
what you like.
yeah.
No one will punch you in the face for it. It's great.
because there's glass between you. They should do that. Somebody could make a lot of money off that. A big glass box that you could just wear so that you could stare at people around town.
And they couldn't-
And they couldn't come up and punch you because you're protected by the bulletproof shield. I'm going to
would be
write
a
that
good
down.
idea.
That's going right next to Rabbi Tongs and Fat Rakes from yesterday. I'm going to write that
Make a
down.
note. Make a note.
Glass box, peeping Tom.
It's all coming
Oh,
together.
and if you wanted to, say, watch people, changing and that, like a real peeping Tom,
Yes.
staring through the window of like a nurse's home, for example, that's what they always did in the 1970s.
a nurse's
wasn't it?
home or a nursing home?
Oh, you don't look. If you're a peeping Tom, never get the two confused. A home where nurses live, quite a lot of nurses, up a tree, some binoculars, like Robin Asquith from the 1970s, staring through the window. For God's sake, don't have a look at the nursing home.
No.
Trouble is, the old lady's boobs tend to sag.
Oh.
And even if you have to get at such a high angle to look down through the window.
You'd be better off coming up to the bottom of the window and looking up under the curtains.
Exactly, yeah.
Not that
Ground
I've
floor.
thought about it.
Yeah, dig. There's, yeah. If you've got any
I
other
used
ways
peep
to
through the
check
window
out
of a nursing home.
saggy boobs.
Yeah.
So we're watching the TV, and what was it you said?
The lipstick doesn't go with that hair.
Yeah. Cut to, like the sound was off. It was perfectly timed. Cut to seconds later, a shot of the Baxter Detention Centre.
As if the woman had been incarcerated, for wearing
in the
lipstick
Baxter.
and hair that didn't
Yeah.
match.
Oh, I see. I
That's
thought
what
you
we
meant...
do. People come into this country and the lipstick and hair doesn't match. We lock them up.
Yeah. It's quite hard.
We have a zero tolerance for that sort of disrespect of aesthetics.
You're shaking that pen again.
I am. I know. I'm flicking it around.
Oh, look, here comes somebody else.
Oh, saunter.
Oh, it's the...
Saunter past the
It's
window
the
with your
juggy-head
little...
saunterer. The juggy-head
Do you
saunterer.
think people would be upset if we knew we were talking about them as they walk past and just really pulling the piss?
What, calling them
Caroline
juggy?
Tran is nodding, saying yes, they would be upset.
Yeah.
You're damn right they'd be upset.
Oh. What?
She's saying don't do it.
No, sorry.
It's very, very
I
naughty.
feel like I've been told off.
Shall we hear from the Thrills?
Yeah. Can I go to the Baxter Detention Centre just for 5 minutes of time out?
Sure. And
We're broadcasting live from a well.
we're not. We're not. I fixed your microphone up now. You're all right.
That's the sound of the bucket being wound.
Ross Noble and Terri Psiakis with you today.
Live in a well.
Indeed. Why are we in a well?
I don't know. Well, you know, just I said we were going to pretend that we were broadcasting from various different
yeah.
places. You forgot already.
Forgot.
You forgot about the man with the dodgy spine as well.
I did, yeah,
So we were
tell me about the man with the dodgy spine.
So busy bagging the Baxter, the Baxter Detention Centre. Forgot all about dodgy spines.
Where do tell?
Well, I was out last night. I was down the Spicks and Specks show.
Yes.
Doing a recording of that.
Yeah.
And I met quite a lot of people who have been listening to the show, loyal ABC people.
Right.
And that's all they do all day long. They one ABC thing from the next. Yeah. They listen to us, they watch a bit of ABC TV,
Yeah,
they
have
go
another
down the
listen.
ABC shop, they buy themselves a goodies apron. That's
And then they cook a recipe from a
surfing the menu.
surfing the
Surfing the, yeah.
Nice save.
You were going,
pitching it and had no
what am I
idea where
gonna
to
do?"
send it. Yeah.
Bit of Nigella Lawson,
Yes.
and then they go home and they watch The World at War on Shiny Thoughts, which
Indeed.
is my new way of seeing DVD.
Yes.
Anyway,
You're not allowed to say your DVD.
My DVD, not allowed to plug it.
No.
How bad's that? It's available in all the good shops and that. Can't say the name of it. Can't say how much it is.
You
Can't-
just have to refer to it as Shiny Thoughts.
Shiny Thoughts. Anyway, but if you go to my website, rossnoble.co.uk or rossnoble.com.au, then you can find out more.
Crookback.
See how I cleverly did. Right. What? Oh, crookback. I thought that was like some sort of. I thought that was like an Australian
There you go.
term for like
Back off.
backpedal. Yeah. Hey, crookback, mate. Crookback. Less your Shiny Thoughts plugging. The crookback.
Yeah.
That sounds like an
Yeah.
affliction that a shepherd would get. Oh, I've got terrible crookback. I've been holding me crook, and as I was walking along, it's pushed me spine out. Yeah, I met this fella last night, right?
You know, crook is just a slang
Yeah.
euphemism for sick.
Oh, some more people coming down the stairs. That's good, because they both came down the stairs there as if it was like entering some sort of premiere.
Oh, they were doing their deb as they walked down the stairs.
So I met this fella, and he said, I've been
Crookback.
listening to the show, and people with missing bits and thumbs and all that kind. If you haven't heard the show, and it's going to be hard to catch up now, seeing as that we're, 2 days away from,
we were
finishing.
talking about people with extra thumbs
Yeah.
or missing limbs,
Things or-
we spoke to someone who was born with a tail
That was a good one.
and they had
yeah.
the tail removed at 10 days old.
General freakiness.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
Physical freakiness.
Yeah, keep your all mental freakiness. Every time I think of the highway code, I shout the word spoon. What? I don't know. Give us a ring. 1300055536.
Yeah.
Yes. Have I said that wrong?
No, you said it very well.
Did I say it in all the wrong way?
I would like everyone to say it like that from now on.
Sorry, I'm a bit dyslexic. Well, I'm a bit dyslexic. I am dyslexic, so it makes it quite hard for me to do it.
Oh, shit, well, now I feel bad.
No, don't feel bad. And I'm an orphan. Not really. These calipers come off in a month. So give us a ring and. I've got to. I've got to tell you about the calipers at the motorcycle show.
right,
Did I tell you about this?
What do you want me to write down to come back to? Calipers or crookback?
We'll come back to calipers, right?
Okay,
Right.
I've written it down.
Come back to calipers. It's a
Crookback.
beautiful place
Oh
to
my
be.
God, for God's sake, crookback.
I've had a bit of Diet Pepsi.
And you've just gone a
I'm
little bit off your rocker.
Woo! So I met a fella last night, right? And he was his spine. He said he was born without one of his vertebrae was missing. He's got one shorter than the other.
Right.
And I said, well, does that mean you're more flexible or less flexible? He said, less flexible, because he can't bend as much as a normal man.
He hasn't got as much spine to bend with.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Not like your freaky thumbs, as we discovered yesterday.
Which go all the way back.
Yeah, that's quite terrifying.
Apparently, someone posted on the message board and said that there's an old wives' tale that says that is a sign of creativity
Is it?
apparently. A lot of artists or musicians can have thumbs that do that.
Do you find when you go to visit people, it takes you slightly longer to ring the doorbell because you've got it like for me, I'd just ding dong, but for you, it would just be like you're pressing, and the thumb's not. It doesn't take up any of the actual.
No, I can just turn my hand around and press it the other way.
You can ring their doorbell and the doorbell of the house across the street.
Exactly.
So he was born without a spine, and then of course.
Without one of the vertebrae on his spine.
No, he was born without a spine. He's a very floppy man. Hi. Did you see that? He walked past the window and stared in.
Crook back.
So he's born without a spine, right? And he's born without a vertebrae. And he was telling me this, and then because I'd been talking yesterday about the fact that I've got toes which are like fingers.
Yes, you do.
And I said.
Freaky toes.
Yeah, if you come along to see one of my live shows, don't expect me to get me shoes off.
Yeah.
So I can show. I might show you afterwards. Well, this one woman, she went nuts for it. She went, "Come on, then, show us your finger toes." Next thing I know, I'm there. There's
With your shoe off?
a whole. I've got my shoe off. Right now.
Treating you like an object, Ross.
Well, this is where the plot thickens because I got the shoe off, right, and I got the finger toes.
Yes.
To show her, right. She's only gone for them.
What?
She went in and touching.
Really?
She's touching.
That kind of disturbs me a little bit. Maybe she had a foot fetish.
Well, it was like she was shaking my foot. Like a hand.
How do you do?
Yeah. It's like she wanted to play rock, scissors, paper.
Did you give her the finger with your foot?
I wish I had now. I wish I'd thought of that. But sadly, I was trying not to fall backwards onto the bloke with no spine. But yeah, how and I said at the time, I went, come on, that's a bit familiar.
Well, you don't just, there you go. Why is it that we can reach out and grab the person's hand as a greeting? Why is that an accepted shaking of the hand?
Acceptable.
But touching another body part, hey, back off.
Exactly.
Crook back.
It's bang out of order, But luckily the bloke with it, and I also met a fella who knows Status Quo. And do you remember last year, if you've been listening on the podcast, because you can get the podcasts at www, that's how I say it, one dot, and then it's triple J.
It's triple J, all one word, .net.au.
You can get the podcast from last year. You know how we were talking about how Rick Parfitt
allegedly
ran an escort agency out of his house? I met a fella.
He also had a German Shepherd that he only spoke to in German, if memory serves me correct.
Oh, I can't believe I didn't remember that. No, wasn't it a German Shepherd that he just talked to called Fritz? Wasn't that the...
No, it was in German. He only spoke to the dog in German.
Oh, I can't believe I forgot that.
Yeah.
Of course. Anyway, so I asked him to... He said that he would be having dinner with Status Quo the next time they were here. So I said...
Really?
Yeah, so he's going to email me and let me know.
So you can have dinner with Rick Parfitt of Status Quo and ask him about his German Shepherd dog that he only speaks to in German.
I don't get to have dinner.
Oh, you don't?
No, I don't, but he does.
Ah.
No, he didn't invite me along for dinner.
I thought you meant he invited you.
Oh, no, not after he saw me feet.
And we were talking about... the people that had extra body parts, basically. And just to give you an idea of the kind of thing that
physically gifted.
That's a nice way to term it.
That's the way I see it.
The physically gifted. Melissa from Wagga Wagga, your friend has what?
I have a friend named Maureen who's a beauty therapist, but her speciality is massage, and she has 2 thumbs.
So 2 thumbs on one hand. She has an extra thumb.
She does on her left hand.
And so she gives a better massage because she's got an extra digit with which to massage?
I've never been massaged by her, but my ex-boyfriend has, and he really liked it. He thought it was a nice feeling.
Is that why he's an ex-boyfriend?
No, other reasons. But anyway, Maureen has 2 thumbs, and she uses them in her work. But I've got a flat battery, so I might cut out any moment.
Oh, okay. Well, we don't want to take up all your battery. But thanks for ringing and letting us know.
That's okay. Bye.
I really did want to have more of a conversation.
Yeah.
If the woman's got
we never got
round
round to finishing talking about the... who was it that had the 2 penises?
Oh, Randolph. No, who was it?
Randolph.
No,
Just
Randolph, someone.
Rudolph Nureyev. Was it him?
No, now we're just
No,
talking.
who was it?
Yesterday, our quiz contestant, Melissa, claimed that, what was his name? The actor had...
Was it not Randolph? Who was it?
Hang on, Amy's...
Oh,
Rudolph
Rudolph Valentino.
Valentino.
That's right.
Yes,
Yeah,
and
just
we
to
couldn't
clue-
find any proof of that. I Google searched Rudolph Valentino and then penis, which I really hope doesn't stay on the ABC logger on the computer. Otherwise,
Always tricky.
I might not have a job next week. But I looked it up and couldn't get
No.
anything. So I think that may
I
have
did a
been
bit of
Melissa trying to do a bit of a George Foreman on us.
Yeah. I did a bit of research and discovered that he had a pet. He had a cockatoo, and that's been...
It's been misconstrued.
That's been misconstrued, sadly. But
Damn.
yeah, so who else? Have we got anyone else on the line?
No, I think you're going to tell
here
us
we
about
go.
the calipers.
I've been handed... line 2 wants to tell you... you might... What? I might get a...
Amy has handed us... And look, shall I just go to line 2? This is very confusing for people. Who's that? Hello?
Hello.
Hello, who's this?
Yeah, it's Vic. It's something I can tell Terri, but I think that probably Russ needs to put his fingers in his ears and go la-da-da-la for a minute.
No, go on.
Apparently, having a second toe longer than your first toe, on average, means that you will be prone to heart disease and basically die younger than people with toes that are similar length or shorter.
Happy birthday, Ross.
Yeah,
That's...
that's perked me up no end, that.
Is that an old wives' tale? Because did you hear me?
No, it's a statistical thing that the medicos have done, and it's not as if growing that toe that long puts a strain on your heart. It's just a co-indicator. It's just symbiotic.
Right.
It
It just
puts
so happens that people who have longer toes tend to die earlier from heart disease.
Yeah.
I think I might be one step ahead because I spend a lot of my time with my feet up. And therefore taking the pressure off the toe, therefore enhancing my life.
Well, yes, that could very well be a worthwhile medical research subject.
So you read this somewhere, did you?
Yes, definitely.
You're not doing a George Foreman on us, are you,
It
mate?
sounds like you're doing a George right there.
Well, I hope you believe that I am doing it, George, because I wouldn't like you to be depressed about it.
No, not at all.
Oh, I see the clever way you try to... Yeah, I hope you think I'm joking, because you're going to die.
Thanks for your call, mate.
Bye.
See ya.
It's just
see?
nonsense, isn't it?
Look, who knows whether
Yeah.
it does. Does it matter? Whether
as
does
far-
it change how you're going to
No,
live your life?
as far as
Even
I'm
if it were true?
As far as I'm concerned, I only accept medical advice from men with bad grammar travelling in high-speed cars.
Why wouldn't you?
That's the only way to go.
Are you going to tell us about the calipers?
Yes, I recently was at a motorbike show. Did I not tell you about this? I'm sure I told you about this.
This year?
Was it this? No, it was just only
I haven't
happened
heard
a
about
couple
it
of
this
months
year.
ago.
No.
I'm sure I must have told. I thought I told you in the office. I don't know. Listen to me saying in the office, like
we have one.
Yeah, it's more of a sort of a corridor area with a seat. The 2 seats next year if we're lucky. Yeah, one swivel chair, and the three of us have to balance like the Moscow State Circus.
Very awkward.
Spinning around. I was at a dirt bike show in. It's not important, but it was an agricultural centre.
Yeah.
Went to this dirt bike show, and for your motocross riding, you can buy calipers. Right, you can
Yeah.
buy so you put them on. They're like a medical caliper, but you put them on before you injure yourself, and then when you fall off, it supports your leg.
You're more protected in the event of an accident.
If you come off your motocross
Yeah.
bike. So I was at this show and I thought, and they had these custom calipers, and I thought, oh, that'd be fancy. I'll get them all fitted. And it's a big open thing. And I went in there and I says, I wouldn't mind some custom calipers, please. And the bloke went, certainly I can fit them now if you want. I went, brilliant. Fella, and this is in the middle of a sort of an exhibition
So there's
type.
people
trade
milling
stalls
around,
and
yeah.
all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to keep a low profile, have a little look around the place.
Yeah.
I don't want to go, hey, let's party. and the bloke goes, yeah, no problem at all. Drop your trousers. Well, I'm committed now. I can't back out. I can't go.
You know, they do the same thing at Sexpo. This could be going to a very wrong place.
It's true, actually. I think they were calipers. They were buzzing.
So he's asked you to drop him.
He said, "Drop your trousers, and we'll get you fitted." Which again you don't want to hear the sex but fair enough, in for a penny. So I dropped my trousers and I'm standing there literally and I'm stood.
Is there a screen something?
There's nothing. And luckily I was wearing the pants that day, Yeah. If it had been a Thursday, we would have been in a lot of trouble.
Pants off Thursday.
Of course.
Yeah.
So I'm stood there. Pants, like my trousers, around my ankles, right? And part of me's thinking, I'm glad I've got these pants. Another part of me was going, one day these might be travelling around Australia. But for the time being, I'm stood there with my trousers around my ankles, right? And then he starts putting the calipers on me. Yeah. So I'm like some sort of pornographic Forrest Gump standing there. And I'm trying.
Forrest Hump.
Yeah. And I'm trying. Run, Forrest, run! Wow, I'm going to run for you, Mama. Oh yeah, come on, run for me, Mama. Come on, you never know what you're going to get when it comes to loving. And so I'm stood there. And I just think...
like a box of frangers. Sorry, keep going.
I should have just kept my mouth shut, right? I would have been fine. No one would have noticed me stand, but like an idiot, right? I try to make jokes, because I do this thing, right, where if there's a tense situation, or there's, I can't help but make jokes.
Yeah, break the tension or deflect the situation.
Yeah, it's always been a problem of mine, because it happens, at the worst opportunities, like when a doctor's examining you and I always, buy me a drink first and all that type of thing.
Yeah, I do it at funerals.
Exactly.
When the mood's a bit dark, someone says something and you make a bit of it and they look at you like, this is neither the time nor the place. Exactly.
So I'm there and I'm stood and I've got these calipers on and pads around my ankles and I just said, I feel like I should have a little slot in my head standing outside a chemist, right?
What?
You probably don't have them here, but they're in the UK. There's like a society, some society, and they have these like plastic. It's a young girl in calipers,
right?
And she's got a little slot in her head, and it's raising money for kiddies with calipers, right?
Okay.
And it's quite a sort of thing. Clearly, you don't have them.
So
here.
You've made this reference.
I've made this reference, right? Which is, obviously, if you know what these things are, hilarious, right? So the blokes, exactly. If you don't. Imagine if I'd done it here. Imagine if I'd been getting me calipers fitted at like some sort of Australian-based dirtbag show. And I went, hey, I feel like I should be standing outside a chemist with a slot in my head. They would have gone, that's wrong. Put your pants on and leave. Don't even take the calipers off. Go on. So I've said this, a little joke, and the people around have laughed. But then the other bloke, who's having his calipers done, on the other side with his pants around his ankles, he goes, oh, you're Ross Noble.
Oh.
And I went, oh, God.
With your pants
what
down.
What have I done, right? And everything was fine. And he went, oh, my missus loves you. Oh, we come to see you show. Oh, hang on. And she's over there, right? And this fella is turned to his missus, right? And he's shouting, he's like, Jean, it's Noble. Look, it's Noble over here. So all of a sudden, I'm standing there, pants around my ankles, wearing calipers, with a fella advertising the fact that I'm there. It's gone from me getting me calipers for some kind of personal appearance. I was like a local radio DJ. I was like, here he is, throw us a T-shirt. It was
and the whole time your pants, did you have a chance to kind of gather yourself?
I had calipers on. I couldn't get the trousers past the calipers.
Did you sign any autographs with your pants down?
I certainly shook a few hands.
Nice.
It was a shocker.
That is bad.
I defy anyone to essentially having somebody basically just introducing you to a large crowd of motorcycle enthusiasts with your pants around your ankles wearing calipers. I defy anyone to pick a more uncomfortable position to be in.
Well, someone who may have spent a lot of time with his pants around his ankles.
Give us a call.
No, Rudolph Valentino. We have the rumour that we were told yesterday by our quiz contestant Melissa was that apparently, or allegedly, I don't know, maybe it's a compliment to suggest that someone doubled up. Apparently the actor, Rudolph Valentino, had Two of them. Now, James from Canberra, you've got some information on this rumour. Is it a rumour?
It's something I've heard. I haven't actually checked it out. But apparently, if you go into Google and you type in dual meat, you'll get a film clip of some Mexican guy with the same affliction.
And he's for real, you reckon?
Apparently. I haven't actually checked it out because there's something about that kind of weirds me out. But
yeah,
Yeah,
I can see what
it's a
that
man
would
with
be.
two penises.
Yeah.
There's nothing. You shouldn't sound trepidatious about that. It's odd. There's no getting away from it.
See, here's me thinking, I've got written here, James from Canberra has further information regarding Rudolph Valentino and his two penises. I'm thinking, right, we're going to get some concrete info here. Nah, it's just some guy going, hey, if you want to see a Mexican guy with two dicks, log on to this. It's, yeah, we'll check it out.
You know what's good about that, though? About having that particular thing?
What's that?
Is that before an evening of the loving, right?
Yes.
Right?
Are you listening, James?
Right.
yes, I am.
Yeah, he is.
You approach the lady, right? She's there. You're not sure whether she's, up for it. All you have to do is go, all right, love, double or nothing. Bang on, straight away.
Thanks for calling us, James. We'll check that out.
All right, just don't blame me if you get mentally disturbed or something.
No, look, I won't blame you. There's a few more people in the queue ahead of you for me to blame when I get mentally disturbed. Thanks for your call, mate. Ross Noble and Terri Psiakis on your radio for a moment there. I forgot my own surname. Now, we are going to check in with our pants, but we have some special music to accompany our pants roundup today.
Yeah, it was a treat. It was the pants correspondence this morning was insane. I got sent. Can I do this one quickly?
We might leave that one. Let's do that. Let's do the song one.
Fair enough.
You were sent some songs by an outfit who call themselves Five Iron Frenzy. So we thought that every time we check in with our pants today,
We'll play a different track.
we might play
there's 8 tracks.
a little bit as an intro. This is the first song about the pants. They're all songs
who are we
about the
speaking
pants.
to in a second?
We'll be checking in with Gemma,
Gemma.
who is in Darwin and is currently the custodian of our northern pants. But just a little bit of intro music for you. Well, I like that. It's a bit. What's that? Bossa Nova?
It's Latino, isn't it?
Yes, we do. And to tell us
It
about
brings
the
on
pants.
romance.
The pants bring on romance.
I
Do we
certainly
have
hope so.
Gemma? Gemma, are you there?
I'm there. I'm here.
You are. I'm there. You're here. You're everywhere, basically.
I'm everywhere.
Are the
Now-
pants bringing on romance for you?
The pants are hot.
No.
Now you
Very
were.
hot.
You took the pants out last night to Rorke's Drift. What happened last night?
We went to Rock's Drift. There was about 15 people there, and they all knew what the pants were about. And there was about another 30 people there who had no idea what they were about.
Excellent.
But there was lots of old men who were keen for them.
Old men who were keen for the pants.
Yeah, they were really interested in them.
That's
And it was good fun.
well. That's good. And
We
you
took
got.
them to the toilet.
Of course you did. They'd had a bit to drink by that stage. They needed to break the seal.
Yeah.
You took them to the toilets, and what was there something outstanding that happened in the toilets, or dare I not ask?
Well, one of the guys took them to the toilet. That we took photos, so I'll send them in.
Oh, no.
Please do.
They're
God.
quite interesting.
Well, we should point out there are a lot of photos now of all 4 pairs of pants on the Ross and Terri page of the Triple J website. Head to triplej.net.au. Now, Gemma, you have been the custodian of the Northern Pants. You are going to do a handover with them today. Is that right?
Yes. At
Okay.
the Scungy Woolies.
Okay, so if you are...
Scungy
Well,
woolies.
it's only fitting. The La-di-da Woolies was the scene for the first handover. So the second one in Darwin, it's only fitting it should happen at the Scungy Woolies. So that is on Kavanagh Street, is that right?
It's on Smith Street.
Okay, so that will be at 12 noon local time. If you are in Darwin, 12 noon outside the Scungy Woolies, there will be a handover happening. We'll cross to you. That's not very far away, really. It's just over half an hour. So you'll be handing over to somebody very special, and we'll cross to you then. But it's good that you had a good night with them last night.
We did. We took them on a pub crawl around Darwin, and they had fun.
And it's a wet season there at the moment, isn't it?
It is.
Is it true that people tend to go a little bit in Darwin during the wet this season? I would imagine the pub crawl would have been that much more interesting.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. It was good fun.
Excellent.
Had lots of fun.
All right, well, we'll check in with you for the handover a little bit later on.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
All right, see you, mate.
Speak to you then. Bye.
Bye. Now, we should mention that the pants are going to be handed over to someone who's going to be bringing them to Melbourne, which poses a bit of a problem for us. Her flight arrives in Melbourne at 5:20 a.m. tomorrow morning. And she's only going to be at Melbourne Airport for half an hour because then she's on a connecting flight that will take her somewhere else. So if you can pick up the pants at Melbourne Airport at 5:20 tomorrow morning, we want to hear from you. 1300 055536. Now, you might be thinking, 5:20, why would I head out there and be there at 5:20? Well, this is what you get. If you do it, you get to be the person who brings the pants to the homecoming ceremony on Friday. So you get a great big fat chunk of the glory.
Yeah.
If you're able to pick the pants up from Melbourne Airport at 5:20 a.m. tomorrow morning, 1300 055536.
And that's the equivalent of being the person that lights the Olympic flame.
Yes, of the last leg. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
That is
none of your local councillors who get to run it,
Yeah.
in some back street.
And I should also point out, you're thinking, well, homecoming ceremony, what? A bagpiper has been confirmed.
And
I'm inches away from confirming a brass band.
Oh.
Which is pretty close to a marching band, I reckon.
love a brass band.
We may have about 10 drummers.
Nice.
There's a chance. So it's going to be pretty massive.
And also, there's a possibility that we might have some opera singers.
Yes.
To operatically bring the pants into the studio.
Absolutely. So it's a pretty big deal. 1300 055536 if you can pick up the pants at 5:20 a.m. tomorrow morning and you are available between 12 and 3 on Friday to bring them to the homecoming ceremony.
A good way of looking at it is don't think of it as getting up early. Maybe go there after being out all night.
Make a night of it.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Why not have some sort of... Yeah. There's nothing I like more than seeing people getting drunk and going to an airport.
There's nothing airport security likes more.
People have done it for years.
Exactly. With about 3 minutes to the news, you received some pants-related business in the mail today.
Yes, I did.
Understand.
Yes.
Someone sent you something very, very special.
This is very special, very special.
Do you want another pants track to intro the special thing that you
introduce this
got?
one.
All right.
Yeah.
Oh, the embarrassment. How did that get there? Oh, I'm so terribly
just
sorry.
Sneaks in, doesn't it?
Right, try this. Sounds like a romantic pants.
I'll never forget when I saw you standing there wearing pants. You were all alone. And I thought to myself, man, I wish I had those pants. But the problem was, those weren't my pants.
Five Iron Frenzy, who will be singing in each mention of the pants.
Yeah. Every time the word pants is mentioned, there will be a song.
Indeed.
We've had this letter and it says, Dear Ross and Terry, I made this peace doll for Ross. I made this peace doll of Ross because I was inspired by the peace pants. As you can see, the doll is wearing peace pants. I was unable to attach it to the pants, so I've sent it to you. And that's from Evan Day, aged 11, from Adelaide. And I'll just describe it here. It's laminated as well. It's a little doll of me, an actual picture, which he's got of me, cut the picture out, stuck it onto, and then has actually not just any old. He's made the pants out of a vinyl material.
That looks like faux leather.
Yeah,
I'd prefer to describe it as.
It's a leatherette. Yeah. He's written Australia on the back and stitched the pants with a very fine stitching, and then and this is quite a nice little touch, even slightly flared them at the bottom.
He's
as well.
done an absolutely brilliant job. It is fantastic.
It's great. So there's a little version of me there.
Little peace signs on the pants.
Oh, that's true, yes, and peace written down the sleeve, and another one on the back, even pockets on the back there. And I'm going to make sure that is that is placed on the pants.
Yes, when they arrive.
Yeah, and we might even try and photograph that, put it on the website as well. So I'm just going to stand him there. Thanks for that, Evan. 11 years of age. And
Beautiful. Let's talk all things George Foreman.
open for business. George Foreman is
Yeah.
open for business.
Yeah.
It's a shame we don't have a George tune, is it? Well, you know what we should play?
No.
We should play Eye of the Tiger. Survivor.
Ah, yes.
It's the Eye of the Tiger. And just with some backing singers underneath just going, fingerprint. Oh, excuse me. That's why I could never be a backing singer. I went to sing the backing doo-wop, and I just burped.
You repeated on yourself.
Yeah.
You know, what a shame that we don't have another bit of theme music so that I can put another CD into a CD player that
That you
frankly,
don't understand.
I don't understand. Brand new in the studio today. I'm having my first crack at it. It's not really working out, but, you know.
I told you it was a bad idea broadcasting from Mexico. Would you listen to me? No. Sitting here on a big glass dome trying to operate foreign...
George Foreman.
George
Now,
Foreman.
We have I've been trying to contact someone who has spread the George Foreman rumour in what I feel is a beautiful way. Sadly, phone's gone straight to message bank. But I want to share this because I think this is fantastic. John and his brother are travelling around Tasmania at the moment. And, you know, they're visiting all the tourist attractions.
Yeah.
And
The Swiss Village. Have they been to the Swiss...
I'm not sure.
Oh.
The Swiss Village
The
in Tassie.
Swiss Village.
Where is it?
There's a in Tassie. There's a somebody will have to let me know. But it's a tourist attraction, and I picked up the leaflet. I haven't been there, but it says it's something like the world's second biggest model railway and Swiss village, not the world's biggest model village.
Biggest.
It's like the second biggest. Oh, it's like but the thing is, they've got not model railway because there's tons of model railways, but they've just added in brackets. And Swiss village. I think it's a Swiss village. It might be like a miniature volcano.
Yeah.
It's something odd, anyway. I mean, fun, but, you know.
Well, if it's the kind of place that has a visitor's book, then I dare say that John and his brother have been there because they've been making a concerted effort to sign all the visitors' books that they come across at all these tourist destinations. They're signing it George Foreman.
Yeah.
And then you know how it's the space for your name and then a comment about, the place was lovely and we really enjoyed our lunch. And but George Foreman and the message, I have no fingerprints.
Excellent.
Everywhere they go
Excellent.
throughout Tassie. That's to be commended,
That is
isn't
to
it?
be commended. I've had an email here. Listen to this. This is from Mark, right? Myself and my friend are lifeguards on the far south coast of New South Wales. On the beach, we set up an information board each day, and instead of providing useful info about rips and beach conditions...
The important stuff.
Yeah, the stuff, you know, that people would say survive with.
Yeah.
We've been spreading the amazing facts such as George Foreman has no fingerprints. And backing this up, when asked by general beachgoers, what a great term, General Beachgoers. Hello there, this is General Beachgoer. Hello. This is my wife, Margaret Beachgoer. I would, yes, fought in the Boer War. I would estimate that we managed to spread this rumour to hundreds of people. Now we have spread into making up our own rumours and are hoping that maybe instead of us taking yours, you will take ours to a wider audience, right?
All right,
Today's
so what's one of the
suggestion
rumours?
is,
Okay.
right, this is a great one. This is brilliant. Pelicans are responsible for abducting at least one infant per annum. Not per year.
Per annum.
I hope to attach this photo I hope to attach photos for your info board. That's from Mark.
Well, they should send them into website at triplej.net.au.
And he also says maybe instead of not a band, you could do a fact quiz. You see what I mean? Like a true or false.
Is it a rumour or is it in fact true?
Yeah,
So true or false?
True or false? Yeah, and which is a great idea. So pelicans are responsible for abducting at least one infant per annum.
Per annum.
So that's the new rumour to add to, because obviously, like the George Foreman's the big one. That's the one which obviously everyone. It's so plausible, and also we've also got the fact that Huey Lewis's maternal grandfather was the fella who invented the opening on the wax coating of the Baby Bell cheese. We've also got a Mythbusters style experiment that you and your friends can do.
Now, this is good. I've yet to have anyone ring in and say whether or not they've tried this.
Or anyone's managed to convince their friends that this is true. That if you place... This is nonsense, by the way, so don't try it on yourself. Get someone else to do it. If you place an egg, not up your arse, but just between so your cheeks envelop.
Yeah. So that the egg is vertical, not horizontal, because you've got no chance of doing it if it's horizontal.
It depends how big your arse is.
No, apparently you can't do it, even if you do it between finger and thumb and try, or, do an egg that way, not do an egg, but like try and crush it that way. From end to end, it's too strong. It won't break. That's a fact.
What, so you're saying that my egg thing is now true? Are you trying to...
No, this way. Like, you know how the egg is...
I know what you mean, yeah. Not squeeze
like
it. Yeah, if you try it... Yeah.
If you do it that way...
Like, end to end...
Yeah.
It's impossible to break an egg by putting pressure on it.
Correct.
Well, that's nonsense.
It's not. If you do it in your hand... If you do it in your hand...
Do it with a brick.
We're going to do it. We're going to bring an egg in and we're going to do it.
No, but the thing is, though, that if you think about it, right, that only works, right, if... And we'll have to get our science expert on the...
Oh, God.
Oh, get Ranger George. Ranger George knows... He knows about eggs.
Amy, we need Ranger George on the phone.
If you press... You're right.
Amy's going, yeah, righto.
If you press an egg on the very bottom and on the top, right, and push it, right, that the force is displaced over the egg, right? But the difference is that when it's in your arse, right... right?
Yes.
And you never hear Dr. Carl preface that, do you? If you go, when rain clouds are, and then, but if it's in your arse, then all you'll find is with the internal combustion engine, it tends to work. The petrol when the fuel pump opens, but if it's in your arse,
you're saying
what I'm saying is that if you put the egg
between your arse cheeks,
if you put it lengthways, right. Yeah. You're not pressing. You're not the surface area of the pressure that you put.
Is different on either side
because you on the well, no, it would be it depends how.
Depends on your ass.
Yeah.
A lot of this stuff depends on your own ass.
If you're somebody who works in quite a small office and is naturally gassy downstairs, and you have to do the cheeky rock, to let a
lift
bit of
one side of the
lift
cheek
one
up
side. Now, obviously, that buttock's going to be slightly larger.
Yeah.
Trick, get a swivel chair, no problem at all. But what I'm saying is, if you put in the force that disperses it over the egg. But thing with the buttocks, it fully engulfs the egg.
Yeah.
Right. So when you squeeze, you're not pushing. Do you see what I mean? You're not actually pushing the top edges. So therefore, the egg will smash.
We can talk about this. We can talk about it round and round in circles. But if we want an expert opinion on this, we should consult Ranger George. Are you there?
Yes, I certainly am. How are you two?
Not too bad.
Good,
now
thanks.
we're just. What do you reckon about I know technically you advise us on animals and wildlife and all that, but eggs come from animals. Help us out.
Now, what about the egg not being able to be cracked?
Yes, apparently, if you put an egg, right, if it's long ways and you're pushing it from either side long ways, it won't crack.
Yeah, no, that's true.
Right.
But if you did exactly the same thing, like in your arse.
Yeah. In your arse or in your arse cheeks?
Like between your arse cheeks, not up your... Oh, no, God, please.
See, I knew this would get dangerous for this exact reason. Somewhere in a small town, there's a small boy opening the fridge.
Who from now on will be called Johnny the Chicken. For the rest of his life.
That's great.
No, between your cheeks, right?
Yeah. Look, you'd have to have pretty wide cheeks to be able to get it in there in the first place, though, wouldn't you?
You could wedge it. You could wedge it, because then the thing is you wedge it and then you clench. And so we're saying if you clench... it will break or it won't break? What was your theory?
It won't break. It will. Like, obviously, if you put an egg in your and squeeze really hard, you can smash it, right?
Yeah.
But if you're telling somebody that as a lie to see if they believe you, you need to tell them that it's physically impossible to smash the egg.
Because then they'll go, I'll smash the egg, and they'll try and do it.
Exactly, they'll try and do it.
You'd have to have Arnold Schwarzenegger-like buttocks, wouldn't you? To be able to do it, I believe.
No, I reckon even if they're just largish, you could
Really?
maybe... Yeah,
They need to be muscular.
You know who's going to try this out, don't you?
Cycle
I'm going to do
courage.
it. You're going to go home tonight and I'm going to go, right.
Well, I mean, generally, if the larger the buttocks, the more like boiled meat they are. So, I mean, the larger they are, the softer they are, the more they're going to be gentle on the egg, though, aren't they?
Ah.
That's
I would have
true.
thought so.
It's
Yeah.
all about the the muscles. We either need a cycle courier or one of them lasses off aerobics or style.
Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Yeah.
So it really does depend on your ass, doesn't it, Ranger George?
Well, that's exactly right. A lot of things depend on your ass, yes.
Yes, thank you for that piece of wisdom.
Yeah,
Thank you for being available for consultation.
that's all right. We'll see you later.
See you, mate.
So what's happened there is
Right, he doesn't know either.
I've invented something just stupid, which clearly I think the egg would smash if you squeeze it between your arse cheeks. And now you've brought that into question, which
Yeah.
means it's the perfect lie to tell. Because now the
Yes.
fact that we've invented it, but we're not strictly sure,
We're not sure.
whether or not it'll happen.
Gotcha.
You know what we're going to have to do? We're going to have to do it in the studio.
You are going to have to.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
you've already had a chicken try and peck pellets
Yeah.
out of that crack, so why not,
Yeah.
you know?
I think we're going to have to do that tomorrow because we can't get eggs today, can we?
Probably not. We could ask the calf. But George Foreman,
We'll give you them back.
just to tie this up,
Oh, yeah, that's true.
the George Foreman rumour, well, it had to happen at some point. There was a press release that we posted on the front page of our website. Somehow that has ended up on a legitimate news site. If you go to www.juice.e-news-daily, so the word juice, then E, then news and daily, all one word, .com, and click on the odd icon, up comes George Foreman held in security scare at Miami Airport and our press release about him being held up because he had no fingerprints.
Word for word.
Word for word.
Yeah. So what we need to do is, if somebody asks you whether or not it's true,
You can direct them.
yeah. So what's the website again?
www.juicenewsdaily.com. So juicenewsdaily, all one word, .com. And
Juice
click on the
News
odd
Daily.
icon. It comes under odd news,
Right.
which is wrong.
yeah.
It should come under
It should come under important news.
entertainment.
So, yeah. And wouldn't that be terrible if the egg up the arse business came under cooking?
Well, you know what we're going to do? We're going to play a track and then I'm going to trot over to the calf and see if they've got any eggs.
They won't have any eggs.
Well-
We're going to need some form of plastic sheeting.
Ah, hang on. We've got
What? Oh, here we go.
We've got very, very quickly, and then I promise you we will play a track. Alex from Sydney, are you there?
Yes, I am.
Your brother-in-law tried the egg trick, is that right?
Yeah. He said that you couldn't squash an egg by pressing it from the pointy ends, and so I gave him an egg in my kitchen.
Yeah.
And he smashed it all over the place.
So he didn't put it in his ass, he tried to
yeah.
finger one.
Oh yeah, no, he didn't put it in his ass.
Stop saying it like we're freaks.
Damn it. So the one that's meant to make the egg not break,
Yeah.
made it break.
Well, I didn't do it.
Oh.
I said it'll break, and it did.
And it did break. Is your brother
Yeah.
the Hulk?
No,
Right.
skinny.
All right, well, I'm going to go to the calf now. Thanks for your call, mate.
We need to get some eggs, don't we?
I'm going to get some eggs right now. Triple J, it is almost 1:30. Ross Noble and Terri Psiakis with you. And in just a moment, there could be egg action. There could possibly be egg action.
All
but
in the name of science.
in the name of science and just general frivolity. But before that, we will cross to, I haven't got the pants music ready, a handover of the pants that's happening in...
No, it's not even in.
ready.
It's not
It's
even
not-
in the CD player. Look, I just look. Sorry, I just went.
It's a new
what?
CD player. Don't put
You
me under
might,
pressure.
you might as well play it. You might as well stick it in.
Right.
It's not even there.
Do I have out the front of the Scungy Woolies in Darwin, Renee, are you there?
Yes, I am.
You are about to be the new custodian of the pants. You're going to collect them from Gemma. Have the pants appeared?
Yes, the pants are here.
All right, well, just because of that, if we celebrate that fact with a bit of this.
Pants. I'm gonna talk about my pants now.
Oh, yeah, I like this one.
I got my pants on and I'm chilling.
Nice.
Yeah, my
Our pants music provided by Five Eye and Frenzy, who gratefully donated it. Now you're about to make the exchange.
Yep.
All right. Let's do that on air. Describe
Cool.
for us what you're doing.
My password's been verified.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah. All right. Yell the password over there.
Pants, enjoy. Thank you. Take photo, Ollie. Oh, we're
Fantastic.
taking a photo of the exchange of the pants.
Excellent.
Outside.
Are there many people there?
Hang on, we've got to get the Woolworths sign in.
In the photo.
No, there's 2 people here. There's other people, but they don't know what's going on.
Darwin's over the pants. Darwin couldn't give a flying continental about the pants at this point. Now, Renee, just explain to us where you're going to be taking the pants, what you're doing with them.
Well, I've actually got to go shopping now, so the pants are coming shopping with me.
Awesome.
Yep.
I found a really cheap, clip-on hairpiece at Casuarina, and my sister has informed me that I have to buy the pants a hairpiece.
Yes, why not?
So they'll be getting bought some hair.
As is the tradition to decorate the pants.
Yes, and
And tonight?
Tonight I'm being taken out to dinner for my last night in Darwin before I fly out. So
where will you be going to dinner? When will you be taking the
apparently
pants?
it's called the Magic Wok, so I'm going to presume that it's Asian food.
Okay,
Yeah,
so the Magic Wok tonight.
Unless
Yep.
the Magic Wok just actually produces chips. And that's how special,
Lasagna.
that's how magical a wok it is. Any food you want and you can have it.
And then where are you flying tonight?
I'm flying from here to Melbourne.
Okay, and you're going to arrive in Melbourne at 5:40 a.m. tomorrow
5:20.
morning.
5:20.
5:20 a.m.
yes.
Oh, got to get that right, because you're only there for about half an hour in the airport.
Yeah, 45 minutes, and then I've got to get on the plane and go to Perth.
Well, very luckily, Toya from Melbourne is going to pick the pants up from you at 5:20 tomorrow. She'll greet you. She'll be the one standing there with a sign that says "pants" when you walk off the
Excellent.
plane.
I'll have someone to meet me.
Fantastic. So we'll guard the pants on their journey. Have a safe journey.
Yep. And before I go, I've been told I have to yell out to my sister Anita and say, I'm officially the custodian of the pants.
You are indeed. And tell everyone. You don't get to say it every day, really, do you?
No, I have been waiting for this moment, and I was hoping they'd arrive here before I left, and they have, and I have them.
Wonderful.
It's the most exciting thing that's happened in my entire life.
Oh, that's kind
sad.
of nice.
It's
That's
kinda-
nice.
Yeah, it's
That's
kind of nice, but slightly tragic at the same time.
Cool. Well, we'll check in with you a little bit later on, Renee, and give you all the details for your handover tomorrow morning.
Fantastic.
See you, mate.
All right, bye.
Bye. Now, that's exciting. We've got that pants handover.
Yep.
It's happening, so they'll be back in Melbourne for the homecoming ceremony. Now, how did you go with an egg?
I've got an egg. What happened was I ran outside, I ran to the canteen, and Melissa, who works in the canteen, I ran up and I said, and I was sort of slightly out of breath, I keep running in the corridors and people look at me like this is a place of work, it's not a playground. And I'm running around the building all the time getting things grabbed. And I ran up to the counter and I went, hi. And first thing she said, before I even said anything else, she just went, I haven't got an egg. Straight away. I haven't got an egg. She's listening out there in the canteen.
No
eggs. No eggs at all.
Egg-free zone where she works.
Yeah. I said, no eggs at all. And I went, I said...
You know why she hasn't got an egg? She smashed them all. She tried to do it.
Yeah, exactly. There's a lot of disappointed salad and squares eaters out there. Going, have you got any? No. What you mopping up for? She also said that she's listening, but because you can't hear the radio. She's got the radio on in the back.
Right.
So she can hear the radio, but people at the counter can't.
Ah.
So she said she's just there serving people their flapjacks and the like.
Yeah.
She's laughing. People think she's nuts. But luckily, she got onto your man upstairs there. I didn't get his name.
Upstairs cafe, yeah.
Big fan. I've not been up there.
It's fancy, isn't
Is
it?
it very fancy, is it?
Bit la-di-da.
Oh, too la-di-da for me. I said, could I have an egg? And she went, hang on, I'll get onto it. So she's got on the phone, right, to Egg Central, right? The Egg Cave.
The Egg Cave.
And
Righto.
because there is. This building has an egg cave.
Yeah.
And sure enough, and in this case, last week we had a chicken. The old question, which came first, chicken or the egg?
Yes.
Clearly the chicken.
Absolutely.
That was before the weekend. So an egg's arrived, stamped MFO.
What does that stand for?
Some sort of mysterious flying object. I think it's for like kids to throw when they leave school. And this is 339.
Number 339.
Yeah, it feels wrong. It feels
It's odd seeing an egg stamped like that, isn't it? It shouldn't have any kind of imprint on it. There should be maybe just a little bit of dirt and maybe a feather stuck to it, not numbers and letters.
Maybe it was laid by some kind of robo chicken, and as it comes out, it stamps it on.
All right.
This, if we pull off this egg arse thing, then it's going to be a bit like Mork took a wrong turn and went where he shouldn't. But the worst thing of all, right, the eggs come down, and it's quite a wide egg, that, isn't it? The worst thing about this is I can actually...
Yeah, when you shake an egg, a raw egg, there's stuff going on inside.
You can really feel the yolk there.
But see, this is the thing. You've brought one egg, so are we doing the egg arse thing, or are we doing the thumb and forefinger?
We can't waste an opportunity like this.
Okay, it's got to be the egg arse.
And the worst thing about this egg, straight out the fridge.
Ooh, cold.
Yeah.
Well, that's good, because that'll make you tense up. As soon as it hits your skin, if that's cold, that'll make you
as soon as it hits the skin,
tense up a little.
What are you suggesting? How is this? How are you planning?
I'm going to pitch it.
Well, what I've done is...
I'm going to pitch it and try and lodge it right in between.
Well, this is the thing. I mean, I could place the egg in there myself, right?
Yeah.
But the great thing about having the facilities, look...
You've got plastic, you've got gloves. Oh, so I get to do it. All right, you've just...
I'm joking,
A pair of gloves. No, I'm up for it.
No,
that's fine.
don't.
I'm putting gloves on. This is the sound of me putting gloves on. Well, we're going to have to put some newspaper down.
Take them off right now.
No, I'm not taking them off. You wanted to do this. We're going to do this properly.
You're not placing the egg there.
I'm putting gloves on. We're going to play a track. And while we're doing that, the gloves are on, people. We're going to play a track so we can put some newspaper down when we come back.
Yeah.
I'm going to shove an egg up. No, I'm going to put it in there.
No.
What?
I'll place it in myself.
Right.
If there's one thing that my old grandma said to me...
I've got these gloves.
You've got the gloves. You can wear them for the rest of the show. You'll be like Willy Wonka. All I'm saying is, the one thing that my gran said to me on her deathbed is, Ross, if you're ever putting an egg in your arse for people's entertainment, do it yourself. If it's chilly, you might get piles. That was a brilliant idea of mine. Look at that.
Noble putting an egg.
I'll put the egg inside the plastic glove, you see, and then that way, because I don't know if you noticed, on the door it says, no food or drink to be brought into the studio other than water. So the idea of cracking eggs with your arse, so hopefully
So that'll prevent, if your ass cracks the egg, it'll prevent the egg making a mess all over you and the studio
floor. But I'm guessing that it might rip the glove.
The shell might rip. We're not concerned. The glove's not going to hinder the breaking.
No, it's still
of the egg in any way.
Right, here we go.
All right, do you want to rip that thing out of the stand, the mic out of the stand? You can take it with you. Right. Ross Noble is removing shoes.
That's quite important, right?
He's now dropping trousers.
Right, I'll clear them. I'll clear them from the area.
Yeah, right.
Right. Oh, for God's sake!
We've got a guy standing out.
A bloke's just standing outside, viewing.
Yeah, Amy's just saying, could you not face that way? She really doesn't want to see.
What? Sorry.
See, this is payback. We've spent a lot of time taking the piss out of people as they walk past the studio without them knowing. Now they're getting their own back on us because they're all coming in to have a look. Right, go. Trousers down, undies down.
It's between the arse, right? It's fully engulfed. Can you see that? Oh, it slipped out.
Don't drop it, for God's sake.
Hang on. Right,
it's very interesting seeing. I see from my end, I can just see a tiny little bit of rubber glove hanging out.
Right, here we go.
All right, squeeze.
I'm squeezing.
It's placed. It's squeezing. Stop laughing.
I can't get the necessary... I genuinely can't do it. Hang on.
I don't think you're trying hard enough, Ross.
The security guard's just walked past and I have no idea why I'm just standing here in my pants. Hang on, I'll try pushing my buttocks together. Wait, I'll see if this will work.
No, he's pushing the bum cheeks together. It's not breaking it. And that is some force there. Don't jump up and down. That's not going to make any difference. All right, so it's true. If you put an egg between your ass, can you remove the egg before you put your pants back on?
What?
Are you going to remove... Oh, you're putting pants on.
I was going to put my pants back on, and then...
Ross Noble has an egg poking out of his bum. And
that's quite comfy, actually. That genuinely,
ridiculous.
I'm really squeezing quite hard.
And it's not breaking.
That's not working at all.
So there you go. It's not a falsity that you're asking people to spread.
Genuinely...
it is absolutely true that if you put an egg, although depending on your ass, if you put an egg between your ass cheeks and squeeze, clench your buttocks,
and the annoying
it will not break.
The thing is, like, I've lost a bit of weight recently, you know, and I reckon that if I was a slightly larger gentleman, as I was, you know the good thing about that?
What's that?
We can give that back to the kitchen now.
You can. You've put that in rubber gloves and had it between your bums, so technically no contact. They can have that back.
Exactly. That's I can't believe that, because I genuinely thought it'd be piece of piss to smash an egg with your arse.
No.
Because I'm not, like,
Can't do it.
honestly, I wasn't mucking about there.
No, you gave that a red hot go.
I was really trying to,
and then
you know.
you were doing it, clenching by yourself, and then, as you said, you put the hands on either side of the bum cheeks, pushed them in, no crack.
So, it's not
so
only...
to speak.
not only is it... not only is it not... Like, I haven't been able to pull it off. I don't think... I reckon you'd be hard pushed to find anyone that could.
Who could do it.
So give us a ring if you, just purely through the power of your arse,
can crack
an egg. Because you say, this is interesting. The fact that we initially started this whole thing saying it's a myth, thinking that everyone would just put an egg in their arse and try and crack it, turns out we're now saying to you, like, try it yourself.
Yeah, the challenge is, can you crack an egg with your ass?
Originally, it was cock-a-doodle-don't. Now, it's cock-a-doodle-do.
You won't see Dr. Carl doing this. He's coming up to 2 o'clock on Triple J. Ross and Terry with you this afternoon.
That egg's a bit warmer now.
It
was chilly before.
It has been
it's pleasantly
between
warm.
the cheeks of your ass if you've just tuned in.
Imagine if it had hatched. If I'd squeezed so hard, it had actually hatched.
That would be...
Oh, man gives birth to chicken.
Very
That's
strange.
right. Can I just put a quick call out then to the lifeguards?
Sure.
That we'll spread your rumour. Can you put chicken birth? 1 in 10 men gives birth to chickens. Something like that.
What was their rumour?
Their rumour was that pelicans are responsible for abducting one child per annum.
Per annum.
So that's another.
It's another rumour you can spread.
Rumour if you're at a party, if you're, you know.
I think it's the details. It's the small details in the expression that make the sentence believable. Like, per year, you'd go, righto. Per annum,
yeah.
Hang on a sec.
It's almost like a sort of like a Pelican magazine, you know, comes out quarterly. Yeah. And there's a story in each episode, in each edition, you know, saying about another child. Did you know this is a true fact about pelicans?
Yep.
You can lead with this one, and then, you know, their beaks, their sort of bills,
yes,
they look quite scary. They look like they could give you a nasty bite.
Yeah.
Well, I was at Melbourne Zoo with my mate Mike,
right,
and he's walked up to a pelican, and it was blocking the path, and everyone was going, "Oh, it's scary," and it was going in people's faces. And we were going, we're not going to get past there. It's like a swan, he's going to attack us. It's going to be nasty, right?
Yeah.
And Ranger George would be able to clear this up, but he walks towards it. And I go, Mike, you're an idiot. He's going to peck you. He's going to be having a nasty peck. Mike's put his hand out, like sort of going, come on, I'll have you. Come on, I'm not scared of you.
Yeah.
Go on, do your worst.
Yeah.
You know, like he was sacrificing himself like some kind of crazed kamikaze zoo visitor.
Yeah.
He's held it out. The pelicans run towards him. He's opened his beak. We're going, oh, God, no, Mike's in for trouble. What Mike hadn't told us was the beak of a pelican is rubber.
Really?
It's like a rubbery beak, right? And it just, poof, and it grabbed his arm, nothing. Didn't even bother him. He went, go on, and he was essentially, he had a pelican hanging off him. That didn't hurt. He deliberate, and everyone went, there's a wise man. You know, there's a man.
That's what he's doing.
I mean, he was still essentially being rubbery gummed by a pelican.
But he was doing it safely.
Yeah, and so they've got rubber beaks, and he went, and the thing is, I never bothered to turn around and go, like, how did you know? You know, like, he must have been attacked by a pelican and, like, freaked out, like, the first time, and go, no!
And then been okay with it the second time around.
And the next time a pelican's there, I'm going to have a go at that.
Clever man.
But start with that, you know, start with the fact, they've got kind of rubbery beaks.
And then go to...
And then just go, did you know they're responsible for one child per annum? Globally, not in this country, obviously.
Yeah, in the world.
Probably
Don't be silly.
Yeah, probably make the news, wouldn't it?
If an infant was abducted by a pelican.
Yeah.
They might want to keep it quiet. They might not want to alarm people.
That's true. In fact, what happens is a lot of the pelicans actually cover their tracks by dressing as dingoes.
Now, we have about 1 minute before I play a track to get us to the news. So, Pants update, Pants music on Righto. This is where you can see Pants. Oh, there's beeps in this song.
Yeah,
that's annoying.
It's a rap.
Right. The Southern Pants are somewhere in Smithton, in northwest Tasmania. Now, we were going to call Bo, who has the pants, but no signal. Can't get onto him.
Great.
So they are still in Tasmania, in Smithton. There will be a handover happening from Bo to the Fellowship of the Pants, who are going to bring them back to Melbourne. That will be happening tomorrow in Launceston. We will put the details on the website. Go to the Ross and Terri page of triplej.net.au. Now, the Eastern Pants there's going to be a handover of the Eastern Pants at Cairns Airport, 4 p.m. today local time, at the Hungry Jacks at Cairns Airport. They're going to go from Luke to George, who is going to take them to Gove, which is just outside Darwin, and have some Aboriginal dot painting
nice.
decorated onto the pants. So all the details will be on the website, where you can see the handovers happening around the country. In the next hour, an update on the trials and tribulations of the Western Pants. Wait till I tell you what happened to the Western Pants. Terri Psiakis is my name, and I am joined in the studio by international man of comedy, Ross Noble.
/ egg arse failure. I'm so sorry.
There's a bit of, I kind of feel glad that it didn't smash because,
You would have been sprayed
awkward
with egg from my arse.
It would have been awkward, but,
awkward.
It would have been awkward.
Yeah, exactly. That's not often one of the things you hear, like in a workplace environment. It's always awkward when one of your colleagues sprays you with egg whilst attempting some kind of bizarre, misguided challenge.
Yeah, it would have been awkward, but at the same time, I'm a bit disappointed that it didn't smash.
I am too, actually. Yeah, I like the idea that it would have just, as it was a smash, it would have just let out an arc of yolk, And
For those of you who've just tuned in, Ross Noble tried to smash an egg in between the cheeks of his arse, just to crush it by clenching
very hard. But I couldn't I just couldn't do it. I think
you tried.
You see, what I was trying to do is I was trying to smash it on the outer arse area. I had it sort of like. Do you see what I mean?
Just tucked into the cheeks, whereas it should have been.
Yeah, it should have been right up there, and I should have tried to crack it and sort of force it forward, whereas I was trying to force it backwards.
Got you.
Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So if you're trying it at home, please give us a ring if you've managed to pull it off, because I kind of think that the room, because we still.
You reckon it can be done?
Yeah, because I think that we need to. We were trying to spread the rumour that it's impossible to break the egg. And at this stage, I think that might be the case.
Okay.
So give us a ring.
Well, keep us posted, 1300 055536, or hit us on the guest book of the Ross and Terri page.
You know what's just happened there?
What's that?
See this bit of salad I was eating there, that bowl of salad?
Yes.
Yeah, the oil of that, that's gone. I was lifting it up to my mouth and all the oil fell off. It's gone all over my book.
So your special journal that you bought specifically, your lovely suede-covered journal for these 2 weeks, has now got oil and chicken poo.
Well, this is the thing. The chicken poo's coming through from that side, and now that grease is making its way through towards the chicken poo, and I'm fearful that the two might react. And it might either create bird flu or voodoo magic.
We'll never know. We heard a rumour that we wanted confirmed. Well, it was told to us as fact that Rudolph Valentino has been endowed twice.
Yes, he's
with the male appendage.
He's a double Johnson.
He's a double Johnson. We're trying to get this rumour confirmed or denied. Clearly, we can't check with Rudolph himself because, dead.
He's dead.
Pretty much dead.
If he was buried in this country, I'd be out digging right now.
But someone who I reckon might... Well, let's call him an expert for mine. Ron West, who runs the Majestic Theatre on the Sunshine Coast. Are you there?
I'm there, yes.
You are there. And
I
here.
am there. I am here, yes.
Now, tell us a little bit about the Majestic Theatre, what sort of movies you run there.
Well, the theatre was built in 1921, and it's been running for the last 84 years. It's never closed. And from 1921 to 1933, it ran silent films.
Right.
In 1987, we reverted back to silent films again, more as a joke than anything else.
Yeah.
And ever since those first days in 1987, every Thursday night plus matinees, I have run The Son of the Sheik, which is Rudolph Valentino's last film. It was made in 1926.
Does he take his pants off at any point during the film, Ron?
No.
He doesn't?
No, he doesn't.
Does he wear tight trousers that possibly give the game away?
No, he doesn't even do that. No, he wears jodhpurs most of the time, but it's an Arabian film, you see.
Ah, right.
Okay.
This was made in the days, this is 1926, you see, it was made in the days when the Hayes Office decreed that all scenes of a steamy nature had to be played with at least 1 foot on the floor.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
I have the same policy, just quietly.
Some of it's a little bit suggestive, but
it's
gets
not
the odd laugh. But
it's not what you'd see nowadays if you went to the flicks and.
Oh heaven, no! No, when it was first released in 1926 in this country, it had an adults-only certificate. Nowadays, it's just so tame.
Yeah.
I mean, it's made as a romantic comedy, so you get a good laugh out of it, and it's got some great one-liners in it too.
Okay.
And do you have somebody playing the piano along with the films?
I play the organ. I have a cinema organ there.
Brilliant.
And I accompany it as organists used to do in those days.
Oh, that's great. Because I'm going to be I'm on tour soon, and I'm going to be heading up that way. Is there any likelihood that you might have, say, a bit of little bit? I'm very partial to a bit of Buster Keaton. Maybe it's a bit of.
Oh yes. I'm running Buster Keaton at 2:00 this afternoon.
Oh, don't say that.
1:15 now.
Don't say that. You see that for an afternoon for me.
I run a lot of Buster Keaton.
Oh man, 2:00 this afternoon. What are you playing? Which one?
I'm running the Navigator. Plus shorts.
Oh, you see, and shorts as well.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm going to. Can you? I'll keep the number because if necessary, I might even pay to book the whole place out myself, and that would give me no greater pleasure. Like if you come to see me when I'm up there, you might. If I look a bit bleary-eyed. But when I walk on stage, I'll have been in your cinema all day, just watching Keaton. Oh, that's great.
So, if you're up here, please make contact because I'll show you the place, and there'll be something running.
Oh, that's great. Because you know what I got? I bought a projector. I bought a little video projector, right?
Yeah,
a little travelling one, right?
Yes.
So that and I've got the Keaton, I've got the Stan and Ollie box set, and I've got the Chaplin box set, and my plan is I'm going to stick it in my back garden, and like with it plugged into my shed, and I'm going to put a big screen up. And as soon as I'm finished doing this and I've got a bit of time, and I'm going to sit in the sunshine, when it gets dark, nice hot night, lovely drink, put a bit of Mozzie spray on, and I'm going to sit there and I'm going to watch old silent comedy films on the side of my shed.
What a wonderful idea. And they are good. They really are.
They are on. This is the thing. Like, you show them to the kids. I know we've got a bit serious here, but this is something I'm genuinely passionate about. You show, I showed some Laurel and Hardy to my nephew and that.
Yeah.
Mr. Bean, I mean, fair enough. People laugh and stuff, but the kids love it.
Yeah.
They do. Well, this may cheer you up a little bit. A couple of years ago, I had a school group in, and I forget what the film was that I ran now, but at the end of it, a little guy about 10 came up to me and he said, "That was better than modern films." And I looked at him and I said, "Why?" And he says, "Modern films are all just special effects and loud noise." He said, "This has got a story." And I thought, well, hey, there's hope yet,
There is indeed. Well, your final word, Ron, and thank you very much for talking to us today. Rudolph Valentino, single or double, according to you?
How do you mean?
Have you heard the rumour about Rudolph Valentino? He hasn't heard the rumour about Rudolph Valentino.
What's the rumour about Rudolph Valentino?
Well, we had a caller tell us on the show yesterday that apparently, according to her, Rudolph Valentino was famed for being endowed, shall we say, twice with the male appendage.
Twice?
Yeah, he had two willies.
No, I knew he was, well, to use a colloquialism, I knew he was pretty well hung, but he was also gay too.
Right. But you haven't heard the rumour that he...
No, I haven't heard the rumour. I haven't heard that rumour at all, ever.
And it's not evident in any of the films? You can't pick it?
No.
All right.
No.
That's good enough for me. I reckon Ron West.
Yeah.
He's our Rudolph Valentino expert.
if that's the case, then...
Well, he's like an old friend. I've seen him. I've been watching him on the screen for the last 20 years.
Well, it's probably just as well he doesn't have two of them. You wouldn't be able to take your eyes off him.
Thanks for talking to us,
Excellent.
Ron.
And I'll see you in a couple of months.
Okay, thanks very much indeed. Look forward to it.
See you later.
Okay,
Bye.
see you. Bye.
I'm going to go there.
I like Ron.
That's great. That's made my day. That has. I've now got a little something to do.
Look, I'm happy to go with Ron. He sounds like a man who knows what he's talking about. If he hasn't heard that about Rudolph, I'm prepared to put the lid on it and go, well, it's just not true.
You can't have two.
No, you can't have two. It's greedy.
But you know what? We could just say somebody else did.
We could.
Ray Parker Jr. has 3 balls.
You know what I should have done?
You like.
I should have mentioned to him, if he hasn't heard the Rudolph Valentino thing, I'm tipping he hasn't heard George Foreman.
No, because then he'll find out that we were taking the mick, and then I'll go up there and, you won't...
Well, no, what I was going to suggest is that we let him in on it. And if he's running a cinema and a silent cinema, how hard is it to put... they have the ads before the film, just a little thing that just says... George Foreman has no fingerprints, then lights down, start the movie.
Yeah.
We missed an opportunity there.
Now you're thinking.
Yeah. Terri Psiakis, Ross Noble with you this afternoon.
There was nothing wrong with that. What was wrong with that?
It was going to get very waffly if I kept down that line of talking, and I just thought, no, we don't waffle on this program.
No, God forbid. There's a waffleometer.
Absolutely. Now it is that very special time of the day where we like to do a little something called, well, what do I call it now? Because it hasn't been the band quiz for a while.
Oh, the band quiz. Sorry, I thought you meant the bit in the day where I have a little bit of a sleep. No. I just put my feet up, snooze for a bit.
What? Because we had a horse or not a horse yesterday.
It was weed, not a weed.
Right.
Do you remember?
Yes,
that was
day before.
That was the original one. We had UK motorway service area... Not a UK motorway service
Shortened to
area.
servo or not a servo.
Servo, not a servo. Weed, not a weed.
Yesterday.
There was horse, not a horse.
Racehorse names.
Today, dog, not a dog.
So,
These
dogs,
are all
greyhounds.
Greyhounds.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Victoria from Freeman's Reach in New South Wales. How do you feel about dog or not a dog?
Tricky.
All right.
I don't know whether I can do it.
Oh, you can.
I can do cat, not a cat, but...
Unfortunately, cat racing hasn't taken off in the way that I would have hoped. I mean, I gave it my best shot. I contacted the dog racing authorities and went, let's race some cats. And they went, look, stop calling us. We're sick of your inventions. The rabbi tongs don't work. Fat rakes, quite frankly, is a stupid idea. And the glass box peeping Tom thing is a non-starter.
Yeah, get that egg out of your ass and get out.
Yeah, I went, oh, come on. They went, come back when you invent a lean green grilling machine. And I went, it's been taken. Cat racing. Let's try and... Let's organise some cat racing for a later stage. I'm sure it could be done. Because the thing is like, how horses jump over the hedges?
Yes.
Cats, you could have full trees in the way. Like a line of trees that they have to run up.
Down, keep on their way.
Do you have a cat yourself?
I have 4 cats.
4 cats. Now, that's a little bit creepy, isn't it?
No, it's not.
No, it is. You've crossed the line.
I had 10 cats at one stage.
10 cats is just
That's
wrong.
creepy.
Yeah, that's very, very wrong.
What happened to the 6?
Well, we gave some of them away and a couple of them died.
It was 10 too much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And one of them ran away and he's still alive. So he's not really our cat, but he's our cat.
But he's out there somewhere.
He's out there somewhere.
Well, that's cool.
Oh, that's nice. That reminds me of an American Tale. Fievel singing that song. It's beautiful. What have you got? What have you got planned for the rest of the day? Anything fun?
Huh?
The rest of the day.
Sorry,
Scooby.
She's either going to be, sad about the fact that she's lost the quiz or jubilant because she's won it.
That's true. But are there plans?
Not really.
Okay, well, you can always go out and get some more cats.
Yeah, good.
To fill the gaping void in your life.
Let's do the quiz.
Are you ready?
Yep.
It's dead simple. All you have to say is dog, not a dog.
Okay.
It couldn't be simpler.
Yep.
Unless, of course, we rigged up some kind of mind telekinesis power device, and then you wouldn't have to say anything. You'd just think it, and I'd go, you've won. But then you'd know what I was thinking and the whole thing. Anyway, it's dog, not a dog. So, eyes down. Here we go. The first dog, or not a dog. Offal MD.
What was it? Offal MD?
Offal MD.
Dog.
Not a dog, I'm afraid. But don't worry, people always start badly. It's just the way this goes. Chucky Flex.
Chucky Flex. Dog.
It is a dog.
Well done.
See, it's fine. You just take your time thinking through. Right, here we go. Next one. Plumber Toss.
Plumber Toss. Sounds like something really disgusting.
Depends who your plumber is.
Not a dog.
It is a dog.
Oh,
It's quite all right. Just take your time. Take your time. Just relax. Keats the pimp.
what the hell?
Keats. Keats the pimp.
Dog.
Not a dog. No, he was a poet. Cheeky Wiley.
What?
Cheeky
Wiley.
Wiley.
Not a dog.
He is a dog.
Ah.
Or she, I'm not sure. There we go. Next one. Lunchtime Kevin.
Dog.
Not a dog. It's all right.
I'm
It's
going
still,
so badly.
no, it's all right. You've got plenty to go.
You've got heaps to go. You're doing fine.
We saw this yesterday. She thought she got it all the way wrong, and then
Yes.
she got it with one at the
Yep.
end. And remember, you're playing for an item of my clothing.
Yay!
Yeah. Sadly, shiny thoughts not allowed. Next one, Bing Pooter. So that's Bing as in Bing Crosby, and then Pooter as in scooter, but with a P. Bing Pooter.
Sounds like a dog.
It's not a dog.
Ah.
No. It's a really bad Bing Crosby impersonator. The next one is Kate Hollywood.
Kate Hollywood. That really sounds like a dog.
It is a dog.
Well done.
Yeah. Next one. Scary Boobs Jr.
Not a dog.
It's not a dog. You're absolutely right. Next one is Lady Wizard.
Lady Wizard. Not a dog.
It's not a dog. Oh, you see, you're back on track now.
Yep.
Dr. Medhurst.
Dr. Medhurst. Dog.
It is a dog. It's rocking along.
Yep.
Beecham's Intentions.
Beecham's Intentions. Not a dog.
You're right, it's not a dog. Bendy Stan.
Not a dog.
It's not a dog. Clever Thicko.
Clever what?
Clever Thicko.
Not a dog.
It's not a dog, you're absolutely right. Poacher's Secret.
Poacher's Secret. Dog.
It is a dog.
Well done.
Twilight Leroy.
Twilight Leroy. Not a dog.
It is a dog.
Oh, crap.
There you go, next one. Whack Me Gently.
Not a dog.
It is not a dog, you're absolutely right. Next one's Redneck Butler.
Not a dog.
Not a dog.
Oh, you're on a roll, Victoria.
Next one, Looby Looby Looby. It's not a dog, you're absolutely right. Next one, Hustling Shelley.
Dog.
It is a dog. And the final one, Tat Tootsie.
What was it?
Tat Tootsie.
Not a dog.
It is a dog.
Oh,
but that's all right. I'll delve into the while Terry's totting them up. I'll delve in. I'll pick something at random.
Victoria
from the clothes. What
Freeman's Reach in New South Wales. You got 8 wrong and 13 right, which means you win.
You win
today's band quiz, which is not a band quiz. It is a dog quiz.
It's a dog quiz, and you win a T-shirt. One of my T-shirts is an 06 T-shirt. It's very well worn, and I think it might need a wash.
Yeah, I was just going to say possibly not washed.
That
has
really
a
is
distinct
possibly
look of an unwashed shirt.
The mankiest T-shirt in the entire box, and you've won it, my friend, for your excellent dog-based knowledge.
Well, congratulations, Victoria. Well done. Hang on the line, and we'll get your details. And a stinky shirt will be coming your way.
But I'm guessing that, she's got a lot of cats, so she won't be able to smell that, will she?
Possibly
in
not.
that house.
Ross Noble and Terri Psiakis on your radio now.
And we were hoping for a miracle, weren't we?
We were with our Western pants.
We were.
Of course, it is pants time, so we'll hear a bit of pants music, I reckon.
Come on, people now.
Yeah.
This is the time to unite over the revolution of the pants.
Yeah.
Yeah, lay it down.
Right now is the time.
So, Western pants, right? Port Hedland yesterday. Languishing. I've been there for like 2 days.
Yeah, nothing happening in Port Hedland for the pants.
Nothing happening in Port Hedland.
They dream of having a silent cinema. They dream of it.
Well, we were
They're
trying to get
slaves
them.
to boredom.
We wanted to get them from Port Hedland to Perth.
Yeah.
Not having much luck until we got a call from, if I can just bring her up now, the delightful Angela from Lake Grace. Are you there?
Yes, I am.
Angela, you are quite possibly my favourite person in the world at the moment because
thanks.
You did so much to get our pants from Port Hedland to Perth. Now, just explain to us exactly where Lake Grace is in relation to Port Hedland and what you're currently experiencing there.
Well, we're in the middle of a natural disaster. We're surrounded by floodwaters. So, but it's bright and sunny anyway, and we are about 2,000 kilometres as the crow flies south-east. We're about 300 k's south-east of Perth, and it's about 1,700 k's from Headland to Perth. So, yeah, we're not even in the vicinity of it.
You're not in Port and you're not in Perth?
No, neither of the above. So I don't even get to see the pants.
You don't even get to see the pants,
know.
and yet you and your lovely husband Chris arranged the transport of the pants from Port Hedland to Perth. Take us through what you did over many phone calls yesterday.
Well, it started... I actually heard you guys on Monday saying that you couldn't get anybody to move them from Headland, and I'm thinking, oh, there'll be somebody up there that can do it.
Yep.
Anyway, Tuesday, still the same message going out, and I said to Chris, well, we were listening to it at lunchtime, and he said, oh, we can do that, because we both used to live up there. And he was the airport manager.
Ah.
So we thought, oh, we've probably still got a few contacts up there, and he rang the airport. He got on to the Qantas people up there. We actually thought it was Sky West, first of all, but, give them a plug, but they don't fly there anymore. So then he said, I'll leave it with you. So we verified what time he wanted them in Perth, being last night. Rang the girl that does the check-in for Qantas and said, I want these pants to go to Perth, and trying to explain the saga of getting a pair of pants.
Tell me about it, Angela.
Oh, God. Anyway, then we had to get them from the existing spot, being the Pia Hotel.
In Port Hedland?
Yeah, which I thought they were with the Skimpies, but the Skimpies don't work there anymore, so that was good.
It's a reputable pub.
Yeah, well, it is a great pub. Anyway, the pants were sitting on the bar. We were a bit disappointed they didn't get to see more of Port Hedland. Anyway, then I had to find a friend to pick them up from the Pia Hotel and get them to Port Hedland Airport.
So you arranged all of this by phone. You rang up a mate, said, I need you to pick up a pair of pants from the pub, take them to Port Hedland Airport.
And once again, explaining the whole saga.
And how did that go? Did your friend just go, have you lost your mind?
Well, I did ring one person, and he was like, huh? So I thought, well, that's not a goer. And then I rang this other girl.
No, definitely not. Yeah.
And she rang her daughter in the Eastern States and said, yeah, it's all legit, do it.
So that was Sharon who took them from the pub to Port Hedland Airport?
She gave them a bit of a tour around town, but she only probably had about an hour or so before they had to check in. But anyway, she took a few photos, happy snaps, and
nice.
They hopefully will get to you sooner or later.
Excellent.
She gets to the airport with not too much time to spare before check-in because she got confused about the flight times.
As you often do.
Yeah. Anyway,
she's excused.
The lovely
well
girl,
done, Sharon.
Yeah, the lovely girl Irma at the check-in counter.
Yes.
I spoke to her and she said, "Oh, just leave them there. I'll make sure they get on the flight." And once again, explaining blah blah.
Yeah.
And so Sharon leaves them with Irma, and then I checked the Qantas flights on the internet to see what time it left. And I have a look on there, and it's cancelled. The flight was cancelled.
Oh, hang on, you didn't tell me this bit. What happened there?
Oh, and I was thinking, oh, shit. So I rang Sharon back, and she said, well, I dropped them off, and there was a big electrical storm at the time. And she said, oh, maybe it was delayed or cancelled.
Because of the storm?
Yeah, and I thought, well, worst case scenario, they'll fly out this morning.
Right.
So then I ring my friend Irma at Qantas. And she said, oh, yes, the flight left. It was diverted to Parabadoo. So they
Which sounds like a made-up name, really, doesn't it?
No, it's in the middle of nowhere, but...
What is it?
Parabadoo.
Parabadoo.
Okay. Yeah, you'll need...
Power of attorney. Do you want power of attorney or do you want Parabadoo?
Over these pants, I wouldn't mind it, actually.
Yeah.
And so the flight went via there and it got to Perth about 45 minutes late, I suppose.
I understand the pants flew business class. Can you confirm that?
Yes, they did go business class. They were personal baggage of one of the staff members, and Irma assured me that, this person was fully reliable and would do the right thing and hang on to them at the airport or put them in a safe spot or take them out for the night. I don't actually know what happened to them after they left.
Well, I can tell you exactly what happened to them. If I can, before I do that, just thank you so much, Angela, for everything you did from how many thousands of kilometres away from both Port Hedland and Perth in, kind of a flood-stricken town.
It breaks up the day, you know. And I still don't actually know why we decided to do it, and I still don't know why somebody in Port Hedland didn't do it. But anyway, we won't go there.
It's a beauty. What I like about it is not only did you transport them, but the fact that they travel business class is. I think that's great.
Brilliant.
Because what's great about that is somebody who flies that route quite a lot, who's sitting in economy. Yeah. You know, you can see if you're in business, like if you're in economy and you're looking up to business class and you can see the empty seats, you think, I wish I was sitting up there. If you're in business class and you're looking back, you're thinking, I'm glad I'm here.
Yeah. Real cutlery, real glasses,
exactly.
Plenty of leg room.
But some poor bloke's probably thinking, I'm going to get an upgrade. There's an empty seat there. Sorry, sir. Look again. And there's a lovely pair of pants.
Absolutely.
Thank you again, Angela. Just hang on the line and we'll let you know exactly where the pants are now and what happened to them when they got to Perth. Hang on for 1 second.
No worries. Thanks.
Do I have Janie?
Yep.
Now, Janie, you picked the pants up from Perth Airport last night, is that right?
Yes, we did.
And did you have any trouble at the counter? Because I made a few phone calls and apparently there was some sort of issue with unaccompanied baggage and sounded like they were going to arc up a little bit at Perth Airport.
Yeah.
Did you have any trouble?
I think they were a bit unimpressed that there was this bag of pants. They were like, what the hell is going on? And some girl with pink hair shows up and goes, I'm here for the pants.
So that's you, the girl with pink hair?
Yeah, that was me.
So you collected the pants last night?
Yeah, the flight was 7:30 and then it was 8:30 and then it was 9:15 and then at 9:30 it arrived.
So because of the electrical storm, as you just said, it was all kind of waylaid. So you have the pants now and you have them with you and you're offering a viewing of the pants in Perth. Tell everybody where you're going to be.
We're going to be at the Brass Pub in Northbridge at 12 o'clock.
So that is local time, 12 noon, Perth time, the Brass Monkey Pub in Northbridge. You're going to hopefully be shouted a couple of drinks. Are you of drinking age, Janie?
I am.
You are, good. You can go to the Brass Monkey Pub in Northbridge from 12 noon Perth time, see the pants, and we're going to arrange a handover for you. We'll let you know of those details as soon as we confirm them.
Cool.
Are you going to attach Perth stuff to the pants? Because they were only in Perth for 2 hours last time they passed through.
There's so much stuff attached to them already, but we will try.
Okay, we'll do your very best and we will check in with you again tomorrow.
Cool.
All right, thanks, Janie.
All right, bye.
See ya. The Western pants.
It's all happening.
Problem solved. It's totally sorted now.
So shall we just recap on what's happening to the pants?
Well, let's say where they are, they all are. Because we've got a huge map of Australia which has stars and highlighted stickers all over it. We now have a pair. The Western pants went from
Port Hedland back down to Perth. Yep. So they're currently in Perth. And they're going to come back from Perth when?
We're going to endeavour to get them back to Perth, to Melbourne. Tomorrow. I think we still got to sort that out. The Northern pants are in Darwin.
Yep.
And there is a handover happening there. Where did I have that? The handover there is happening at... it's already happened. The handover outside the Scungy Woolies.
Oh, that's right, yep.
But they'll be on their way back home very shortly. The Eastern pants are on their way... they're in Cairns.
Yep.
There's going to be a viewing there at 4 p.m. Cairns time. A passover, a handover at 4 p.m. Cairns time at the airport, at the Hungry Jack's there. The Southern pants, somewhere in Tasmania. Bo, who has the pants, is out of range. We believe he's somewhere in the region of Smithton. So they're there as well. So 4 pants all over the shop, basically.
And we're going to get them all back here to Melbourne for Friday.
Yes.
And we're going to have a ceremony, like the arrival of the pants, somewhere in Melbourne. All the pants will converge, and then we will get them down to and then from there meet up with me, and then I'll bring the pants back to the studio, and we'll share the piece with. We'll share exactly what has been added to the pants, what state the pants are in. We'll give you a full recap.
Yep.
We'll compare and contrast the pants to how they are. It looks like we've got an opera singer to sing the pants into the studio.
Bagpipes.
We've got a bagpiper.
Possibly brass band.
Yep. So what we need to do
I want dancing girls.
We need dancing girls, we need pom-pom people, because there's going to be a parade. To me, from where the pants all end up, the initial meeting spot to meeting me. We need people that can come along, come in fancy dressed if you want to come down. We'll have maybe come dressed as things from the show. Maybe you could come dressed as George Foreman.
Possibly.
You could maybe come, say, dressed as a chicken from the other day. Maybe just simply place an egg in your arse. No one needs to know.
If you can offer your services, if you're going to be in Melbourne between 12 and 3 on Friday, please do hit us on the guest book. Go to the Ross and Terri page of triplej.net.au.
Maybe it's a false thumb, a rubber thumb, something like that.
There's every possibility. It is...
Sunny Delight. You know what I'm on about?
No. What's Sunny Delight?
You see, it's probably banned in this country. There's a drink called... Sorry, this is, if I know you were listening to a record and now we're talking, essentially carry on a conversation, but I'll fill you in. We were talking about drinks that make you, how shall I put it, off your tits.
Yeah.
You know?
Like a lot of those guarana-based
and just zooming.
drinks.
Because we've been eating the large Smarties in the studio.
The jumbo, yes.
Yeah, they're not even particularly nice, but, you know, they're moorish. Yeah, there's a drink in the UK called Sunny Delight, and it purports to be an orange juice drink, but it's not. It says enriched citrus beverage, and it's an artificial fresh orange juice.
Right.
And it's terrifying.
As in, it just has
It's basically,
effects that...
it's just, well, one kid drank so much of it, her skin turned orange.
Oh.
Yeah, it's basically...
But hang on, if you drank a whole lot of anything with beta-carotene in it, your skin would turn orange. If you eat too many carrots, your skin turns orange.
But this is severe. I mean, when it has to be called an enriched citrus beverage, you've got to worry.
Yeah.
Yeah, and, you know, a mate of mine and myself attempted to drink 2 gallons of it. I got past about... I don't know, half a cup, and I was already wanting to vomit.
2 gallons in what period of time?
Well, it was over a train journey to Southampton, which is about 2 or 3 hours. And, we felt wrong afterwards.
I bet you did.
Yeah. Anyway, what's the order of business?
Well, the order of business is we haven't made a phone call
to a
customer service line for a while.
The thing is, it's funny actually, because I sort of went, these people, you know, they're doing their job and we're ringing up and we're just being, we're
annoying.
just annoying them. And I thought, is this right? And then, so we didn't do it. You know, we just didn't get round to doing it. And I went, well, that's not a bad thing. You know, we've had complaints.
We've had people saying...
People have just gone, come on, we like hearing you annoying people. So not annoying, more confusing people, you know.
So are you annoying people as yourself today,
I've decided,
or are you going to adopt...
I've decided that I'm not going to do it as myself. I'm going to sort of just ring the company and we'll see what happens.
All right, well, it's a paint company.
Right, okay.
So let me just...
is it on? Is it all?
Hang on. Just patience. Trying to clear a phone line.
That's
all
quite
right, here
all
we
right.
go.
You ring them up. I'll just get myself ready. Probably best not to do that in silence.
Hello. Thanks for calling Dulux Australia. For orders or order inquiries, please press 1. For technical advice, product information, colour formulations or material safety data, please press 2 or press 3. Thank you. For a colour formulation, please press 1. For product information or advice, please press 2.
Press 2.
Or press 3 for product...
Welcome to customer service. This is Michael.
All right, mate. I was just ringing up just to see if you could help me. I think I've done a bit of a terrible thing, mate. I'm doing some gigs at the moment, and I was trying to streak my hair, and I didn't have any. I didn't have any of the hair dye, so what I did was I used some red paint, and I can't get it out of my hair.
What sort of paint is it?
It's regular house paint.
Yeah, but is it water-based paint or?
I think it's Shannon, is it oil? Yeah, it's oil, mate. Yeah, it's oil.
Oil. Not a lot you can do to get it out. How long ago did you put it in?
It's about 2 hours ago. No, it's gone
2 hours ago.
It's all gone there.
Yeah, okay. Then you probably want to get hold of some kerosene.
I've got some. Yeah.
And give it probably you want to run some kerosene through it. Put on a rag, I guess, and just rub your hair through with the kerosene.
Shannon, kerosene. I haven't got. Have you got any? Right, and just put it through.
And then shampoo your hair.
Right. Thanks, mate. Okay.
Bye.
Yeah. I'm a Prince of Darkness. I should be doing this.
You were Prince Charles, weren't you?
I was. That's brilliant, that.
Nice work.
Do you think you fell for it?
Look, I think I heard him chuckling.
He did chuckle just for a second, didn't he?
Didn't it? That wasn't just my...
There was a chuckle of going, oh my God, that's Ozzy Osbourne.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think he felt quite blessed. We will be back on your radio.
I was too throaty there.
Oh, really?
Do you know what I mean?
You're critiquing your own work.
It should have been more like that. You know what I mean? That's more Aussie there, isn't it? I love you, but you're all mad.
We will be back on your radio 12 o'clock tomorrow.
I'm gonna try and be him for the rest of the day. Try and get it.
Or without Ozzy Osbourne.
It's all to play for tomorrow. It's all going on, isn't it?
You're listening to Australia's national youth radio station, Triple J. For more info, go to triplej.net.au. .au